It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be podsmacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Here is Rob Carson. Welcome to the show. For those of you who are listening in the audio version on iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google Plus, Google Play, SoundCloud, Audio Boom, Patreon, and YouTube, episode number 226 as we head into what will be, after one more day, a holiday weekend, the weekend before Christmas, and tomorrow, of course, will be a mega blow-off day at work. All right? Anyway, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. Also, Liberty One viewers, I can't thank you enough for watching. It really means a lot to me. Your comments are unbelievable. The information I'm getting about where you're listening is amazing. Got a lot of fans in New York. In New York, for crying out loud. A lot of people in Cali listen also. So thank you for joining me. And if you haven't become a member yet, liberty1tv.com. Pardon me, it's only 33 cents a day, $10 a month, $99 a year. That's all it is. We'd really appreciate it if you join. And there's so many good casts being done right now that are a lot of fun. So thanks for joining me. Also want to remind you about these guys right up here, Dots Pretzels. There you go, right there, Dots Pretzels. They are the best pretzels you've ever had in your life, okay? That's all I'm going to tell you. They are pretzels that you will not be able to stop eating. You won't be able to stop eating them. They are salty. They are a little spicy. They got a unique flavor. They're homemade. They're from the Midwest. They're building a plant in Phoenix. But right now you can order them online, dotspretzels.com, dotspretzels.com. Get them for Christmas, get them for New Year's, get them for your holiday party, your Christmas party, your work, whatever. You're going to be blown. You don't need mustard on them. You don't need anything on them. This plain, they're fine. You're going to eat the heck out of them. Joining me on the phone, Chris Butler. How are you, sir?
Was that speaking of Dots Pretzels?
Yes.
Let's talk to an addict.
Dude,
we're going live to an addict.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, they are spectacular. They are absolutely.
Yeah,
they are the best pretzels. And you, of course, are with Butler Lands and Wagler, which is a investment firm. And you also have a terrific Facebook page as well. Tell everybody about it.
Yeah, that's at Free Market Underground. And,
yes, sir.
You and I try to produce one of those episodes every other week. Probably start to do weekly next year.
Yes.
And we talk about everything that's going on in the markets and the economy.
Yeah, and you know your stuff. So let's get in here. Tax bill just needs the president's signature. What is the final verdict from you on this, sir?
I think one thing is getting underplayed here, Rob, more than any of the other elements. It's a huge bill. We could talk, 4 hours on it. But the Affordable Care Act element of this bill has not gotten a whole lot of run yet. But this bill will eliminate the individual mandate, which is how Obamacare is funded.
Yeah.
So it's going the way of the dodo bird.
I
don't think people realize this is a game changer. In fact, it's a game ender for Obamacare.
And thank God, because it was a mess. Who passed through the middle of the night against the will of the American people. It is messed up health care. I think overall, I'm feeling very good about this tax bill. You saw several companies come forward yesterday. AT&T has given $1,000 bonuses to 200,000 employees. Unbelievable.
Right after, I think within the hour of Chuck Schumer chastising AT&T specifically on the floor of the Senate. Yeah.
I love it. I think that we saw some of the lawmakers standing beside Donald Trump. I saw Claire McCaskill from Missouri was standing next to him. I was pretty impressed by that. I really think that people, dour people like Charles Schumer and Nancy Pelosi are going to live to regret the day that they said so many bad things about this, because I think the economy is well on its way to close to 4% in the fourth quarter. Did you see the downgrade? The third quarter, it wasn't a 3-3, it was a 3-2. Oh, the world is ending.
Yeah, right. That's a mathematical error, a rounding error.
Yeah, exactly.
And means virtually nothing. But I agree with you, Rob. This is going to have some large benefit for our economy. In fact, even the left-leaning Tax Policy Center estimated that 80% of everyone is going to see their income taxes go down.
I love it.
Obviously, the more right you go with those types of grading agencies, scoring agencies, you see that they're expecting more and more people to benefit from this. But even at 80%, if that's the worst estimate, that's pretty good.
Yeah. An analyst at Credit Suisse in an investment bank says that the repatriation of American dollars overseas could actually kill jobs here. What is wrong with that, sir?
Well, what he's talking about, Rob, is that he's looking at what companies did with that one-time Bush tax cut.
Yes.
And all of these left-leaning folks are focusing on that, which is fine, because the antidote to that story is simply this: so what? Okay, if we do have a whole bunch of this repatriated money coming back into America, going into the hands of stockholders or doing dividends or share buybacks, the fact of the matter is there's still more money.
Yeah.
There's more money on that day than there was the day before, and that money does get invested. It is going to create jobs. Now, it might not be created by the company that gets the tax cut. It will be created, though, by somebody that benefits from that tax cut.
I couldn't agree more.
And that's what this guy's talking about. And he's also, by the way, talking about mergers and acquisitions. He thinks there's going to be a huge wave of M&A activity coming from this repatriation. That might happen.
Yeah.
But you know what happens? The products from those companies, and we do lose jobs because there is some overlap when that happens, but the companies that merge end up being more efficient, and the products that they produce are better and cheaper. So we do. It's not like we're just going to lose jobs for no good reason. We are going to lose jobs temporarily, and we're going to benefit from it. And by the way, those people that do lose their jobs are going to find employment somewhere else because of all that money coming in.
Yeah, I noticed some really good numbers as far as single family homes permits.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Well, this speaks to Donald Trump, actually, and the animal spirits that I think he unlocked. You can see it more in the home construction industry than you can anywhere else, Rob. What this is saying to me is, and by the way, what we're talking about, is that home builders for 6 solid years preferred to build apartments rather than single-family homes.
Yeah.
And the idea was the economy was so weak, no one could afford to buy a house. So when you see the home builders suddenly change gears, and they've done it for all of 2017 and maybe the last couple of months of 2016, it tells me that they are expecting, they could be wrong, but they are expecting a change in the economic health of this country.
Oh, I think so. I couldn't agree more. I think the real estate market took a hell of a beating after the bubble, and it was atrocious. Listen, I was there, okay? And I think a lot of people who maybe lost their asses during the bubble quite simply are finally going to be able to get back to home buying. I think that might be part of it as well. That's my situation.
It is.
So I don't doubt that at all.
That was just time, right?
Yeah,
the passage of time.
You've just got to have some time to kind of get your SH back together. So
right.
Speaking of home builders, they have not been as optimistic as this week since December 1999. I'm not sure, other than why the economy should improve. They've got issues.
Yeah, the thing that they're maybe not factoring in is that, or maybe they are, is that the average Joe, the average guy out there, is seeing home buying conditions that are near their worst since 2009. That means that, number one, house prices are going up. So if you own a house, you're fine. If you're trying to buy one, you're not fine. And the cost of the money, the interest rates are going up.
Yeah.
So what they're really hoping on with this, the home construction industry is really going to make a gambit on, is that the economy is going to improve enough so that wages go up, so that people can start affording some of these higher home prices.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about this. I noticed you had a note on this Christmas tree tax of 15 cents. Tell me about that. I forgot about that. There's a 15% federal tax, is it, on Christmas trees?
Yeah, right.
Really?
And it's, yes. And that might not sound like much. I mean, Christmas trees are not that expensive to begin with.
Yeah.
But my point in sending you that note, Rob, is that this Christmas, if you reflect on some of the regulations that go on with the Christmas holiday, it's a little nauseating. That's one of them.
Really?
But the other is most cities actually require Christmas tree sellers to procure at least 5 permits or approvals, including things like building permits, electrical permits, certificate of occupancy, all of that stuff just to sell you a Christmas tree.
Stupid.
But that's not it. Did you know that Christmas lights are regulated, which makes them more expensive?
Really?
So your tree looks festive. You're going to have to pay up to get there. And of course, we could talk for hours about all the regulation around consumer product safety and toys.
So I did want to mention something. There are some hot products this year. One of them you cannot get. I mean, you literally cannot find it in country after country after country in the United States, in France, in Europe, in China. There is one product that is completely sold out. You want to guess what it is?
Morality?
No. We do have a shortage of morality. Don't get me wrong. No, the wireless earbuds from Apple.
Oh,
from
right.
iTunes.
Yeah.
They apparently, that ad, they got the two people dancing together, and that apparently has worked very well. But you cannot get those things. And I made fun of them when they first came out because they look like you left your Q-tip hanging in your ear.
That is what they look like. You're right.
Well, I tell you,
they leave a little bit to be desired on the aesthetic front.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chris, thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate it. Make sure to check out Free Market Underground on Facebook every single day because there's always some good material on there. We also post the videos of you in my designer luxury studio.
That's right.
There as well. So where can people find you? What's the number to call if they want to get a hold of you, sir?
The number is 913-696-1919. But also you can find us on Facebook at Free Market Underground.
All right, my brother. Have a glorious Christmas. God bless you. And we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
Bet.
Same to you.
You bet. That is, and there's the Skype noise. Chris Butler's a hell of a nice guy. Free Market Underground is what it is. Did you notice my dog? Oop, over here. That right there? That's Desi. Hi, Des. Hi, Desi. She's hanging out with me. That blanket is her absolute favorite. I wanted you to know. I've got 3 dogs. Desi is my little Shih Tzu, and I love her. She's my good buddy. I'm a complete geek when it comes to my dog. Well, we've got 3 of them, actually. It's just one of them. I thought that Donald Trump was terribly, terribly unpopular. I thought that the Democrats were going to have a wave election in 2018. Republican National Committee announced on Wednesday it's raised $8.2 million in November, outraising the Democrat Party by $2.5 million. RNC's November haul brings its 2017 fundraising goal a total to $121 million. Meanwhile, DNC raised $5.7 in November, has roughly raised $62 million so far in 2017. That doesn't sound like they're terribly excited, does it? The disparity builds on October fundraising totals when the RNC hauled in $9.2 million compared to the DNC's $3.9 million. That just doesn't sound very positive for the Democrat Party. Doesn't sound like people are. It doesn't sound like hating Donald Trump and caterwauling about his policies while the government is doing, while the country is doing better. Doesn't seem like that's working so well. You've got a host of really positive things going on in the country. Lowest African-American unemployment in almost 20 years. Lowest Hispanic unemployment in 45 years, which is as long as they've been keeping tally. You got the stock market. You've got housing starts going through the ceiling. We're going to get jobless numbers today, but a couple weeks ago, they had the lowest jobless filings for unemployment in 45 years. Sooner or later, the light is going to become so bright that the rats are going to have to scurry, and those are the Democrats. Have you noticed how quiet it is on the impeachment front lately? Have you noticed anything with the FBI probe, Robert Mueller, that investigation? Have you noticed that so much these days? Not so much. Not so much. I do have a little bit of audio from the president. The president yesterday talking about the monumental tax cut in front of the state or the our nation's capital. Here he is.
I guess it's very simple. When you think you haven't heard this expression, but we are making America great again. You haven't heard this.
There you go.
But I want to thank Mitch McConnell. I want to thank, what a job. What a job. And I want to thank Paul. They're going to speak. They're going to say a few words. But Paul, Ryan, and Mitch, it was a little team. We just got together and we would work very hard, didn't we? Huh? It seems like It was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun when you win. We're going to see something that's going to be very special. We're bringing the entrepreneur back into this country. We're getting rid of all the knots and all the ties, and we're going to see. You're going to see what happens. And ultimately, what does it mean? It means jobs. So it's going to be really a very special period of time. We're in a very special period of time, and I just want to turn around and I want to thank them all. They are very, very special people. Thank you very much, everybody.
That was very nice. Very nice. Cordial speech yesterday. And we heard yesterday Wells Fargo's given raises. AT&T's given bonuses. Great things are going to happen, folks. I really, really believe that great things are going to happen. Tim Scott is a senator. He's a black man. Republicans from South Carolina. And he was shredded because he appeared with the president on the stairs of the Capitol, and it's disgusting to me. It's disgusting. This guy was born a working class poverty in North Charleston, and he's been called a House N-word by some people. Yeah, in the year 2017. In the year 2017, a black man who just happens not to be a Democrat is called a House N-word. Honestly. It's sickening to me. It's such a cliche, but it's a hurtful, awful cliche to say about somebody, to distill down everything they've done into two words, House N-word. There was a guy on, let me see here, Andy Ostroy wrote, wow, that's a shocker. One black person there. And sure enough, they have him standing right next to the mic like a manipulated prop. Way to go, at Senator Tim Scott. Tim Scott replied, probably because I helped write the bill for the last year, have multiple provisions included, got multiple senators on board over the last week, and have worked on tax reform my entire time in Congress, he wrote. Here's what Tim Scott had to say as he was given the opportunity to speak next to the president. Definitely not a House N-word. He's a man he actually, one of the tweets, I think somebody said he was a House N-word, and he just replied, Senator. He's a senator. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely amazing. Here is Tim Scott on the stairs of the Capitol. Provided I can get it to play. My computer is acting strange today. Just give me 1 second, all right? Here we go.
Well, Mr. President, during one of those conversations that we had, we talked about ways to improve distressed communities throughout this country. 52 million Americans living in distressed communities, and we talked about legislation that can move those communities forward. And you said yes. And as a part of this tax reform package, the Investing and Opportunity Act has been included, which will bring trillions of dollars into poor communities because of your willingness to listen.
Thank you.
The president said it. He said to African Americans during the campaign, do you remember what he said? He said, what do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? You got 45, 50 years of Democrat rule in places like Chicago and Baltimore and Gary, Indiana, and East St. Louis and Kansas City, and I could go on and on. Every major city has a bad neighborhood, and it's largely African American. And Democrats never offer anything. Senator John Conyers has been in Congress for 53 years. Detroit's a hellhole. So what do you have to lose? Let's just hope that it's not throwing money at it, just throwing money at it. So if they can literally turn things around. I like the vibe of this president with regard to making a deal. He is a deal maker. He is our nation's chief executive. He is a chief executive. And he's getting things done that are freaking amazing. We're kicking ISIS ass all over Syria and Iraq. Kicking their ass because this executive delegated the authority to General Mattis. And he said, take the gloves off. We don't wait for them to fire on us anymore. We go after them. We are offensive. And they're kicking ass like America should kick ass. Yesterday, being asked about the United Nations Security Council apparently is going to vote to condemn Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. And for the first time in my lifetime, a president is standing up to the United Nations. You remember when George Bush went before the United Nations? And Hugo Chavez said that they could smell the sulfur from the devil being there. That's normally how we get bitch slapped by the United Nations. And that ain't going to happen anymore. Here's the president when asked about it.
I like the message that Nikki sent yesterday at the United Nations for all of these nations that take our money and then they vote against us at the Security Council.
Yep.
Or they vote against us potentially at the Assembly. They take hundreds of millions of dollars and even billions of dollars, and then they vote against us. Well, we're watching those votes. Let them vote against us. We'll save a lot. We don't care.
I love this, okay? This is a man who is negotiating a deal, right? And he's saying, we'll walk away. I have no emotional commitment. I have no commitment of any type to the United Nations. I can walk at any second. That's what brings them to the table, guys.
But this isn't like it used to be where they could vote against you and then you pay them hundreds of millions of dollars and nobody knows what they're doing. So, Nikki, that was the right message that you and I agreed to be sent yesterday. And I've had a lot of good comment on it, believe me. People are tired of the United States. The people that live here are great citizens that love this country. They're tired of this country being taken advantage of, and we're not going to be taken advantage of any longer.
That's true. We are always the country that steps forward and helps out. We are always the people who show up. We are always the people who bring hospital boats. We are the ones who airlift food. We are the ones who send our troops to rescue people. We are the country that has freed more people than any nation in the history of mankind. And the United Nations likes to bitch slap us a lot. It's about time we said, you know what? We can walk. We can walk. We don't care. I love it. I love it. Absolutely, I love it. Tanana Burke is the founder of the hashtag #MeToo movement. She's going to kick off the Times Square ball drop. Unfortunate name for that. She's delighted to be participating in this momentous occasion. I think it's an honor, the MeToo movement, as we close a historic year and set our intentions for 2018, blah, blah, blah. I think it's kind of, I don't know. I appreciate her struggle, and I appreciate the good intentions of the Me Too movement, but I'm very afraid that it is nothing more than a witch hunt. It is an attack on masculinity. There are those who, in the country, hate men, hate masculinity, consider our masculinity toxic. Got a piece from Shika Dalmia. Movements collapse when they become more interested in collecting heads than advancing their cause. Unfortunately, the very worthy hashtag MeToo movement against sexual harassment and abuse might just have reached that point. I agree. Sexual harassment is a serious issue, especially in the workplace. All people deserve to have a comfortable work environment free from harassment. Many of the high-profile heads that have rolled since Me Too clearly emerged. They deserve their comeuppance, including, of course, Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, Matt Lauer, PBS Charlie Rose. Multiple victims and a pattern of extreme behavior. Garrison Keillor, not so much. He touched a woman on the back when her blouse was open. And he was trying to comfort her about something. Listen to this. Jenna Wortham wrote in the New York Times that she is unperturbed by the excesses of the movement because she wants every single man to be put on notice and feel vulnerable, just the way women do. This is an angry, awful feminist. That's what this is. She wants every single man to be put on notice and feel vulnerable. Well, my son is 18 years old. He's a man. And he's never done anything bad in his life with regard to women. And I haven't either. But a movement that thoughtlessly and reflexively throws decent men under the bus will discredit itself and hurt its ability to take down the real abusers. That's a pity, because a responsible reckoning to hold genuine monsters accountable is something that women do indeed need. And I think from this day forward, if you experience some sort of harassment, you cannot sit on this for 20 years. You've got to document it. You've got to roll tape, whatever it takes. Somebody who has a pattern of sexual harassment is Bill O'Reilly. Pardon me, I dropped a paper. Bill O'Reilly, and I have no skin in the game. I don't like Bill O'Reilly. I find him obnoxious and pompous. His show, I never was a big fan of. I learn a lot of people who like him. I get it. I understand. It's no big deal. But I don't like, for instance, he did a word of the day. Like I needed to be educated on a word every day. No, I've got a fairly decent vocabulary right now, and I don't need a word that no one ever uses in your description. Andrea Macris, former producer on O'Reilly's show, and former Fox Business Network host Rebecca Gomez Diamond have joined a defamation suit. 3 women are suing O'Reilly for defamation after he made comments over the past few months suggesting that they were political operatives hell-bent on taking him down, as well as liars whose only goal was extortion. Now, listen to this. Macris received a settlement from Bill O'Reilly for $9 million after she accused him of sexual harassment in 2004. Diamond got an undisclosed amount for a 2007 sexual harassment suit. Think about that, $9 million. You'd think that $9 million would maybe make you curb your behavior a little bit, you know? In total, Bill O'Reilly paid $45 million to 6 women, including one who was awarded $32 million just this year. One woman got $32 million. What do you suppose was going on there, guys? What are you paying $32 million for? Is it to keep you out of jail? That's what it sounds like to me. Because for a woman to hold out for $32 million, something happened. I don't know what it is. Probably we'll never know. Gretchen Carlson got $20 million from Fox News. Back to the 2 who are complaining here. O'Reilly apparently detailed the sex fantasy she had about this woman, Macris, using that little loofah thing in the shower, but towards the end of the call, he called it a falafel thing. According to the complaint, O'Reilly called Macris one night to inform him he was watching pornography, and he began to engage in phone sex fantasy about her having her come to the Caribbean with him. And I'm not going to get into the details on it, but it's, pretty gross. Pretty gross, and then apparently he was pleasuring himself, so. She was not able to speak about the suit in public before or after the settlement, while O'Reilly was able to say that Macris' complaint was the single most evil thing I've ever experienced to his millions of viewers. That's why she's suing. Lori Dew worked as a reporter on the television show Geraldo at Large and was the host of the Fox Weekend Report, or Weekend, for 8 years between 2000 and 2008. She received a payout after accusing Ailes and O'Reilly of sexual harassment. Got over $1 million from the network. Shortly after she announced her plan to write a tell-all book. Fox also paid Juliet Huddy $1.6 million back in September after she claimed O'Reilly tried to pursue a sexual relationship with her while she appeared on the network as a guest on his show. Kind of scumbag. Scumbag. Oh, this is funny. I don't like using the word. I'll say it one time. Pink pussy hat. That's it. I'm not going to say it again. That movement, that radical left movement, which was basically just disappointed Hillary Clinton voters, Trump haters, radical leftists, radical abortion supporters. They excluded so many women's groups from this march for being pro-life, pro-God. Well, it's inspired a book by Andrew Joyner. It's called The Pink Hat. Honors the Women's March for a New Generation of Activists. Joyner shares the story of a pink hat that was knitted by a woman and used by members of a community family to warm feet. A kitten plays with it. A mother uses it as a blanket for her baby. It gets stolen by a dog. Young girl saves the hat to join a larger movement to march for equality. The book's message of a girl finding a pink hat, which she uses to embark on adventures and stand up for justice, seeks to commemorate the pussy hat, I said it, movement and Women's March, which was a socialist, leftist. It was a protest for hire, crowded with people from radical leftist organizations. They even had a known terrorist speak there. Net neutrality could make free online pornography much more expensive. Well, anything more than free is, more expensive. Apparently, the net neutrality rules being killed will likely reshape the multi-billion-dollar pornography industry in the coming years. As providers will have to pay more to allow viewers to keep watching it for free with little to no financial gain. Excuse me. I didn't use two hands like the president. All right. 2016 Pornhub viewers alone watched more than 91 billion videos, and the website got an average of 44,000 visits per hour. Wow. Wow. This is interesting. There was a group called Turning Point USA decided to do a little, it wasn't even a protest. It was just a little card table. They're handing out some information. They are a conservative group, and an English teacher at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln decided to disrupt them and to say some very untoward things while carrying around a sign. Here is what the teacher was saying as the students sat there.
Labeling, Turning Point USA. Got some neo-fascist Becky right here. Becky the neo-fascist right here. Wants to destroy public schools, public universities, hates DACA kids. No KKK, no neo-fascist USA. Fight white nationalism.
Now, here is a teacher saying that a student wants to destroy the institution. She is a neo-fascist. She is a KKK member, essentially. Well, this video got around, and a lot of people got on the university and said, fire the bitch. Fire her. And apparently they've decided not to renew her contract. And I think it was in Breitbart, they were saying that basically conservative snowflakes get protesting Nebraska instructor booted from her teaching job. And they basically went after the fact that this woman was not doing a violent protest. She was simply using words and therefore should not have been fired. At no point in her protest did Lawton ever make a threat, act in a violent manner, or do anything that could be misconstrued as such. So they feel that the teacher shouldn't have been fired. I think she should be fired because she was a teacher targeting a student. That's the problem I have with it. She was a teacher targeting a student, calling a student a neo-fascist. Now, she is a teacher. If that kid's in her class, what kind of treatment is she going to get? Called her kid, essentially this kid, a Nazi and a neo-fascist as the instructor, as the person who should know better, as the person who is the individual that a student should look up to. Person who holds sway with the student and their success in school. That's why she should have been fired. That's why she should have been fired. It's not about a student being a snowflake. That's bull crap. That is bull crap. I don't want to do any more sexual harassment crap. I'm really tired of sexual harassment crap, aren't you? It's getting a little bit old. Got some other stuff here. Oh, I already mentioned the Apple Wireless AirPod earbuds. They're sold out. Yeah, you won't be able to get them. Not for another month or so. Sold out United States, Austria, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, UK. I don't know how much they cost. I haven't wanted to get a pair of them just because they're, goofy looking. But anyway, you're going to be waiting a little while for it. Going to be waiting for your Apple Wireless. Oh, this is funny. I got a couple selfie stories. You ready for this? First of all, there's a coffee shop in London where you can get a selfie-chino. What you do is you basically, it's called the Tea Terrace is the name of the place. You can send them a shot of your face, and they have literally a printable kind of a latte dispenser that can actually print your face on your latte. Yeah, I know. I could see maybe doing this for your girlfriend as a surprise. But if you're going to get a latte for $7.50 and it's got your face on it, you got some problems. And I'll explain this because it is actually a disorder, selfitis. Did you know that? Two researchers have looked at the term and have decided there could be some truth to it. Mark Griffiths and Janarthanan Balakrishnan, hey, not too bad, published a paper in the International Journal of Mental Health and Addiction last month. They developed a selfie behavior scale by surveying the selfie behavior of 400 participants from India. The scale assesses the severity of the condition, which has 3 levels, from borderline to acute to even chronic stages of selfitis behavior. Selfitis behavior scale, SBS. The latter meaning those afflicted cannot control the urge to take photos of themselves all the time. Kim Kardashian, thank you very much. Yeah. 6 factors were identified in the EFA compromising environmental enhancement. Social competition, attention-seeking, mood modification, self-confidence, and social conformity. Those are all of the factors involved in selfitis. I don't like the way I look on camera right now. I want to lose some weight, so I'm certainly not going to be taking pictures of myself and, thinking I look great. Oh, this is terrible. Man with the world's largest penis has been registered as disabled. And I got to tell you, kind of feel sorry for the guy. I've seen the censored pictures of the guy. Not good. Not good. It's gigantic. He's got to keep it strapped to his leg. Robert Esquivel Cabrera has the world's largest penis on 19 inches, basically. He has refused reduction surgery and hopes to pursue a career in the porn industry. Claims his massive appendage is actually a disability. I cannot wear a uniform like anybody in the companies. I also cannot get on my knees. Wow. I cannot run fast enough, so the companies think badly of me. They say that they will call me, but they never do. According to Roberto, after initially dismissing his claim, the government has now recognized him as disabled. Doctors reveal Cabero has been stretching his member with weights since he was a teenager. What? That's how he did it? Earlier this year, it was revealed he had been offered his first big movie by the man behind YouPorn and the fake Taxi series. I don't know what that is. Wow. Okay, whatever. Okay. Finally, this is kind of fun. I'll do a little Christmas story for you. It's kind of cool. You know the Rankin Bass TV series from the 1960s? They did Rudolph the Rednose Reindeer. They did Frosty the Snowman. It's bad stop motion animation, and it's very endearing, and it's wonderful. Well, there's a guy who actually, Peter Lutrerio, bought a set of the puppets from the original Rudolph the Rednose Reindeer. He bought Rudolph and Santa Claus. And he's got them, and he put them up on eBay. You know what he wants for them? $10 million. $10 million. He says, I was just curious to see what the market would bear. No one's going to pay $10 million, not even a museum or the Smithsonian. The auction does offer a make and offer option, so the pair could conceivably sell for less. Friend of gold, let me see here. The guy, I guess, this guy, Peter Lutrerio, bought him this other guy. And was disappointed to see that the auction was happening. It's just sad to see the puppets being put on eBay. Well, these things happen, right? You gotta make hay while the sun is out, or whatever the hell that is. Because eventually it's gonna fade. The nostalgia of people my age and some the older. I'm a Gen Xer. And the nostalgia will fade, and then it's not going to be worth anything more. It's like Cupid dolls. It's like the old 10 toys. They're not so desirable anymore because people eventually die, and then the young kids have no idea what it's all about. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for joining me today. Thank you. I want to thank my dog Desi over here for Desi. Hi, say hi. Okay, there's Desi. Hello. She looks really happy. Yeah. If you get a chance to check out the swag line, the swag line is right here. See that? All of those designs are available on T-shirts, on onesies, on hoodies, on sweatshirts, on tanks, laptop covers. Just go to teepublic.com/user/conservatees. See it right there, but put user in the middle of it, okay? Like you can't coexist when some people want to kill you. That's a very popular model. Love to have you get that. It's going to be available on the TeePublic or on the Liberty One TV website as well. Also, I would encourage you, order these pretzels. Dotspretzels.com. Please just try it. And I want you to write me when you try it. Or you could even send me a video of you trying it, okay? Just go to carsonontheradio@gmail.com. carsonontheradio@gmail.com. Order those pretzels. I'm going to try and get some to give away. How does that sound? I will also try and get some to give away to you guys. So just order some. Try it. Dots Pretzels. I get the big bag. The big bag's like $10. And I know it sounds like a lot of money, but they're just so damn good. They're so good. All right. Thank you for joining me today, guys. I want to say again, as I always do, God bless you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. And I will see you again tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show.
Take care, guys.
Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.